Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 3 of my unemployed journeyman to glory. We are currently manager at Peterborough Sports. We've made our first couple of signings. We've progressed very well in the league since you were last with us, and we're back today for 2 more matches. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to drop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and get a comment in as well down in the comment section down below, and let's go check out our new additions. Before we get into our additions, we'll start out with our departures. Sydney Pereira has joined Hertford on loan for I think the remainder of the campaign. They are paying all of his wages, and his loan there does expire at the end of the season. He's currently played 6 matches there, scoring 1 goal, assisting 2, averaging a 7.42. I'm not too sure what level Hertford are, obviously. I think they are the standard below. I think they're step 3 of non-league. We're currently in step 2, so it's just nice to get him out on loan and hopefully get him some game time, because he's got decent potential, but he just needs to develop. Hugh Alban-Jones has also departed the football club on a permanent basis. We had the opportunity to get some better central midfielders in, so we managed to get him off the wage bill. He's joined Colville on a non-contract. We actually signed him for £5,000 from Bedford a couple of seasons ago. He only made the 5 appearances so far this season. I think only 1 or 2 under me. He's not done too bad, to be fair, but I just felt it was about the right time to move him on. And our final departure then for now is Ryan Freyer. He has joined Canvey Island also on a non-contract. The 30-year-old was never really going to get any game time this season. He was, I think, our 4th choice centre-half, and we just didn't need him. He'd only made the 1 appearance for us so far this season, and again, I don't think that was under me. He's gone to Canvey Island, who I think are the standard below. There might even be 2 below, I'm not too sure. I think they are just 1 below, and he's only managed 1 game there so far, but he did actually only depart pretty recently. We just didn't need him. He was on like £400 a week, so glad to get him off the books. In terms of our additions then, our first signing was Josh Smile. He has come in on a deal until the end of the season on £450 a week as a squad player to play as that deep line playmaker role. Like I say, an upgrade on Alban-Jones in my opinion. Very good technical player. He has come in after being released by Banbury last season. He managed 26 appearances at this level. He's previously played a very significant amount of games, especially in the 1920 season, 34 games in the Vanarama National League. Started out his career at Fulham, and I'm really happy to get him in through the door. And our final signing for now then is left back Kyron Farrell. He has come in on a deal until the end of the season, only on £140 a week as well. Squad player, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential, 26 years of age, Irish. I was going to say international. I don't think he is actually an international, but he's from the Republic of Ireland. He has come in on a free transfer from Braintree, played 39 matches at the same level, just a different region last season. He's spent pretty much all of his career around these sort of levels. Started out his career at Millwall, and again, I'm really happy to get him in through the door. So there's the 2 signings for now. In terms of our wage budget, we're still like a good £400-500 a week under the wage bill, which is obviously very nice. In terms of how we got on then, since you were last with us, the last match that you saw was this 8-0 win away at Buxton. As you can see, we've been on some very, very good form. We had a 4-0 win away at Warrington, who got a red card in that one. A 4-1 win at home to Kings Lynn. We got a red card in that one. A 3-0 win at home to Darlington. A 3-2 win away at Chorley. A 3-2 win at home to Boston. A very disappointing 1-1 draw away at Gloucester. They were also bottom of the league, I think, at the time of this game, so that was quite disappointing. Before, most recently, a 2-1 win at home to Radcliffe in the FA Trophy second round, where we pretty much rotated and gave everyone an opportunity who hasn't played so far. In today's episode then, we have 2 more matches coming up for you. We have Farsley Celtic at home. They're currently 23rd in the table, and also Blythe Spartans away. They are currently 10th in the table. I'm really confused. I thought Farsley got relegated last season, so I've no idea what's gone on there and how Farsley are back in the National League North. Who knows? Let's get into the first game. Here we have it then. Here's the way lineup for the first game of today's episode at home to Farsley Celtic. We've got Crook in goal, a back 4 of Tootle, Can, Johnson and Farrell, with McGlinchey and Smile in the midfield. A front 3 behind the striker of Nicholson, McCammon and Fox, with Hewlett leading the line. On the bench, we've got Elsom, Fox, Mayer, Lawler and Jones. Ken Felix currently out with an injury. He should be back in training now in 3 days, so he might feature in the second game of today's episode, but he has been a little bit of a miss for us over the last few weeks. Nicholson still not really performing despite him being on paper one of our best permanent players at the club. Also some news about Johnson. He signed a new contract with the club. He actually took a pay cut. He was on £650 a week on a deal until the end of this season. He's now on £600 a week on a deal until the end of next season, so happy to tie our best player down to a new longer term contract. Obviously he has some pretty decent potential in there as well, and hopefully we are still at Peterborough Sports. Hopefully we haven't been sacked. I think we're currently like 6th in the league. We're on a really good run of form at the moment, but obviously I've closed the game and haven't played it for a few days since playing them last matches off camera, so we all know what this means. We're now going to go on a losing streak, because that is normally what happens. But Farsley, they're not going to be any sort of mugs here. Obviously Clayton Donaldson is not their manager, and I wouldn't say I really recognise many of their players. They've got Dylan Youngby on loan from Bradford in real life at this moment in time. I think he's been linking up well with the Don, but that's clearly not been an update that's added into the game, so I think he was only gone on there as like a youth loan for like a month, something like that. Completely irrelevant though for those who don't support Bradford City and have no idea about my main channel with nearly 8,000 subscribers. Completely irrelevant. We have a free kick, a corner here for Peterborough Sports. What can we do with this? Can we have an early goal? Not even 4 minutes on the clock. Tuchel will swing this one in. Right-footed, in-swinger, not a bad ball. Towards that near post. Comes to Can. Back into two. A little bit of room to find Farrell. He goes all the way back, though, into, I think that was Smile, and that's the end of the highlight. Really weird highlight there because we didn't actually really do much with it. But again, we're playing against another team playing with a 4-4-2 formation. We'll get the league table back on here. We are currently 6th in the table. We're only 6 points off top. Now, I didn't actually get to look at how many games everyone's played there, but being 6 points off top, certainly weirder things have happened, especially when we took over from the club when they were 17th, 19th, something like that. Folks has cut inside here very well and Ben went into the back of the net. Ben Folks, an unbelievable solo goal. He wasn't really in my plans when I first took over. Kane Felix picked up that injury though, and he's been featuring quite a lot with Nicholson moving over onto the right. But Folks, that is all him. He cuts in on that right foot, has the room to get the shot off, and from outside the area, bends one into that side net in an absolutely brilliant goal. 15 minutes on the clock. We are already ahead in this one. Can we go on and get a second? I think if we get a second here, we're at home. We're in unbelievable form at the moment. I think we'll genuinely go on and beat them by another very comfortable margin. McGlinchey on the edge of the box strikes. It's blocked and cleared away. It's a nice flick on there. And now Blair has the opportunity to run at Can. Plays it backwards though, and we intercept the ball once more. Nicholson now cuts in and finds McCammon. Great ball in behind. A decent run as well from McCammon, but a poor finish in the end. That's quite frustrating. We're having a lot of chances so far. We've had nearly 80% of the ball. Johnson has gone into the book, unfortunately, there, so that is something we will need to keep an eye on. 25 minutes on the clock then, still 1-0, but we're absolutely battering them. They've had their first shots of the game, which only created 0.05 XG, so they're clearly not a team that we should be fearing all too much. Yeah, I've just had a look there. We've actually played the same amount of games as top of the league at the moment, so they clearly could be some late drama towards the end of the season, potentially. If we carry on this fantastic form, we might not even need to take it towards the end of the season. We could end up wrapping up the title, but I don't want to get ahead of myself too much. We've not really played on paper too many very difficult teams. Only maybe 2 or 3 of them games were against semi-decent sides. I think we played, was it Chorley or Darlington who were up there? I think it might have been Chorley, but McCammon with a ball in there, and that is 2-0. Tom Hewlett with his 8th goal of the season. We've got a decent amount of strikers, to be fair. We are trying to get a few out the door because we just don't need them at the moment. But Hewlett, I think he's someone who's on loan from, it might be Burton. I'm not really too sure off the top of my head, but he's on the score sheet once more. Great ball in from McCammon, who's certainly much better as a playmaker, getting the assists rather than finishing the chances. Let me just have a double check here of Hewlett. Where is he from? Yeah, he's on loan. He is on loan from Burton. I did think right there. He's previously had loan spells at divisions below, and he scored, what, 1 goal in his whole career? That's before he joined us, he scored 1 goal in his whole career, and that was in the Northern Premier League. With all due respect, that's not the greatest of standards. 2-0 though. And probably job done already, with all due respect. We're going to tell them to play for set pieces. We've absolutely battered them. It's very comfortable. We'd expect to beat them. They're in the relegation zone. Gloucester is still bottom of the league, so that the only game I haven't won as Peterborough Sports manager was unfortunately the 1-1 draw against bottom of the league Gloucester, so that's very disappointing. McGlinchey though does well to win the ball back on loan from Peterborough and finds Hewlett balling behind here for McCammon. I was just criticising his finishing, but I think in the last episode, didn't he score from like 40 yards out? He's hit the post again on at this occasion. That's half time at 2-0, very comfortable. What a 45 minutes that was. You have blown them away. Let's get underway then for the second half, and we do have an early highlight. Smile picks it up and turns away from his man. Our recent addition finds McCammon. He cuts inside here and looks for a ball in behind to Folks. Great ball, great strike, but he's just got a little bit too much height on it. That's really disappointing in the end there. And it was a positive start to the second half, but yeah, I'm feeling very confident about the season. Really happy that we managed to get this job. You look at some of the teams who were also available at the time. Would we have been able to turn it around there? Potentially, but the club is still not letting me start a coaching course at this moment in time, which is very disappointing because while I'm enjoying my time at Peterborough Sports, I am already thinking about my next move, if I'm honest. But Hewlett picks up the ball here, looks for McCammon. driving forward over on that far side into the penalty area. He cuts inside on that right foot and strikes. Josh McCammon with a brilliant solo goal. I'm pretty sure McCammon assisted Hewlett, and now Hewlett has assisted McCammon. Very, very nice play from us there. Great link-up play. Hewlett into McCammon. He took a couple of touches, looked to take on his man, cut inside on that right foot, and a brilliant strike into that far corner, again into the side net. In 10 minutes into the second half, 3-0. Definitely job done. I wish I'd have had a look at when our next game is and how many days it is until that next game, because that would have affected my substitutions. But we are now going to make a double substitution here. Who's not particularly playing well? Well, Johnson's on a yellow card, so we'll get him off for Ashton Fox. That's a pretty easy change. I'm also going to get Lawler on for McGlinchey in that midfield. We'll leave it as them two for now. We've also got a left back and a striker, I think, on the bench if needed, but I don't think we're necessarily going to need a striker. Hewlett's playing well, Farrell's not particularly playing well, so I think that our final change will be left back for left back, unless something happens here. Nicholson has finally scored a goal. Josh Smile with the assist. This knee-side celebration seems to be a bit of a trademark for us. We've got, for a non-league club, the stand is looking pretty full. I mean, I know this one behind the goal doesn't really look like it's open, but Nicholson has finally scored a football goal. That's very nice. We'll give him some more praise, and I think now we'll get Farrell off for Mayer. Mayer performed pretty well in the games that he did play. I'm not going to lie, until we brought Farrell in, obviously we did rely on Cuba Mayer quite a lot. Dutch left back. He's actually played 20 times for us so far this season. Obviously, all them games wouldn't have been under me, but we'll make that final change of the game. So we've made a centre-back and a DM change, and then a left-back change. It's so weird managing at non-league, because normally you change your 3 attackers, your striker, and you might change your midfielder, or potentially like one full-back if you're managing in like the Premier League or the Liga. But managing in non-league, it really does make for some interesting substitutions, because you're only allowed so many to name on the benches. Nicholson comes close again there, fires over the bar. This has been a very comfortable game, though, as we expected. They're still playing the 4-4-2. They're getting absolutely annihilated all over the pitch. It's been a very comfortable result for us. 6 minutes added on. Look at the statistics. We've absolutely bullied them. I do feel kind of sorry for Farsley Celtic. I'm pretty sure they did get relegated in real life, so I'm not so sure what they're doing in the Vanarama National League North. But Lawler plays it short into Folkes. Bit of room here. This camera angle is so strange, but Ben Folkes has found the top corner once more. He is a very good natural finisher at this level. For a man who's not played too much football, apart from since Kane Felix has picked up his injury, to have 7 goals, he's not too bad of a return, and I'm sure he's got a few assists in there as well. Pretty easy finish though. 5-0, job's a good one, game over. Let's pick up our first 3 points of today's episode, as Lawler is going to fire a free kick here, and that was not too far away, only just wide of that far post. We're up to 5th in the table, just 4 points off top of the league. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. If we continue this form, by the time the next episode comes around, we could genuinely be top of the league. We also have a game in hand on top, but to be fair, South Shield's a joint top, and they have 2 games in hand on top, 1 game in hand on us. So if they win that, they would go to 45 points. So we were technically, potentially 7 points behind top of the table. But at the moment, from where we started, around 17th, 19th, somewhere like that, to be up in 5th already after just 21 games, not even half the season played, it's a very, very good achievement in my opinion. Let's get into match day number 2 then of the episode, and fingers crossed we can carry on our fantastic form, because that again was very, very impressive. Our 2 players currently out on loan are doing pretty well with their loan spells, especially Sydney Pereira. 7.42 after 6 matches is quite impressive. We've had 5 players named in the Vanarama National League North Team of the Week as well. We're currently trying to do some transfer business. I'm not going to tell you what that is off the top of my head right now, because, well, I don't actually know who we're trying to bring in, but we've currently got a few players in on trial, and we are trying to get one out the door. If we pull this off, there might not necessarily be much of an improvement now, but the potential on some of these players that we're trying to get in is very, very nice in my opinion. Let's now go see how we line up for this game against Blythe. They're 9th in the table, so they're going to be no mugs. Unchanged then, I do believe, in terms of our starting 11 from the last match. Just one change on the bench. Miles is on the bench for this one instead of Maya, just because Miles has been performing pretty well in his last 5 matches. I wanted to start Lawler, but Smile, he's also a little bit tired, but Lawler's much more of a ball winner. McGlinchey could maybe do the deep line playmaker role, but I think Smiley certainly someone who's going to have to come off. If he picks up another yellow card, he's going to be banned and also a little bit tired. So changes are going to need to be made. This game's only been played like 2 or 3 days after the last one. If I'd have known that, I'd probably made our substitutes in the last game a little bit earlier. But we've got Crook in goal, a back 4 of Tootle, Can, Johnson and Farrell, with McGlinchey and Smile in the midfield, Nicholson, McCammon and Folkes in behind Hewlett. This front 3 especially, well, I say front 3, the front 4, not really including including Nicholson though, has been performing very well for us over the last couple of games so far. On the bench then we've got Elsom, Miles, Fox, Lawler and Jones once more if he is needed to come on and maybe grab us a goal. Blythe though, like I said, they're going to be no mugs. They're 9th in the table, so they're clearly a pretty decent side. But if we were serious about challenging this season, add opposition instruction to never press Finn Cousin Dawson, a player on loan from Bradford. But yeah, if we're serious about challenging for this season, we have to be beating teams like Blythe with all due respect. Yes, they're away from home and a point wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'm going there thinking we can definitely get 3 points in this fixture. We've just battered Farsley. We've battered most teams that we've played so far, apart from obviously bottom of the league. Let's see how we get on then in this game against Blythe. They're one of the rare teams not to start out with a 4-4-2 formation. Cousin Dawson is playing centre half for Blythe, where I think he plays there in real life, but for Bradford City he played much more at right back. I think on the right wing there they've got Lewis Knight. Pretty sure he used to play for Bradford Park Avenue as Farrell is stood over this free kick. He's going to look to wind one up off the crossbar. Not a bad attempt there whatsoever, and it's cleared. Corner ball then for us. Farrell will take it over on that far side. Left-footed in swinger. It's a low one though. It's cleared away by Forbes. Not a great ball into the box there. We've had another dominant start to the game, especially considering the fact we're away from home. I'm pretty sure this is actually our game in hand on a lot of teams around us at the moment. I think South Shields are losing or potentially drawing. And either way, we could do with 3 points in this one. It would be absolutely massive to close that gap between us and Spennymoor. Add the instruction to play 4 set pieces and give them some more encouragement. Smile, he's not playing too bad, but he's very tired. Falk's not really having a good game. Nicholson, absolutely knackered already. But this is the problem with non-league football and how small the squads are and the lack of substitutions that you're allowed. And I can understand why, it saves the club's finances and all that sort of stuff, but it is frustrating as a manager. I am far from pleased with what I've seen from that team. We're going to give them 10 minutes and then we'll look to make some substitutions. I think we've got a week's break between this game and the next one, so fitness isn't too much of a concern for me in this match, but I would like to keep players fresh and all that sort of stuff. Right, we're clearly not looking like scoring at the moment, so let's make some changes. I think we're going to get Mark Jones on. Who for though? We're going to get Jones on for Forks and put Jones up front with Hewlett. Play Jones as a pressing forward. Put McCammon. McCammon can stay on the left wing as an inverted winger. He is right-footed, isn't he? And then we're going to put Nicholson actually to be an inside forward on support. We're also going to bring off Josh Smile for Dan Lawler in the midfield. Play him as a ball-winning midfielder, and McGlinchey can now play as the deep line playmaker. We don't really want to make our final change yet, considering we're only 10 minutes into the second half. Let's give them some encouragement then, as Blythe come forward with the former Bradford Park Avenue man, Stevenson, now in the box. Cleared away, though, by Dan Lawler, and he finds Jones on off the bench. Already got 6 goals to his name so far this season, but he's given the ball away there in a very dangerous area. And now Forbes, bit of room to strike. He bends one off the crossbar, can clears, only as far as Knight, though. Ball back into the box, he's blocked and out for a corner. Paul that from Jones, failed to hold up the ball, and that's really what he is on the pitch to do. Corner kick now for Blythe. Stevenson will swing this one in, right-footed outswinger, not a bad ball. Easy though for Crook to come out and claim. Very good shot stopper at this level, and I've been very impressed with his work so far, but none of our players are playing well. Not a single standout performer so far in this match, and Crook with a really poor clearance there, and the ball is going to come straight back at us now as Clark picks it up and finds it in to Boddenham in the centre of defence. He goes out wide here into Evans, and that is the end of the highlight. We are going to stick it on to attacking. Like I say, I'm here to win every football match, so if we can go on and get another goal, or get a goal, that would be very nice. Let's make our final change of the game. We are going to bring Ashton Fox on for, we're going to get Ashton Fox on for Hayden Cam in the centre of defence. We don't want him to get booked and miss the next game, and he's also pretty tired. He's a key player for us. If we concede from it, I'll hold my hands up, but I really want to go on and get the 3 points. A win here would be absolutely vital. 10 minutes to go, still 0-0 Tootle on a 6.2 match rate, and that is simply not good enough from a right back, is it? I know he's a decent age. Is he 30 or 33, something like that? But he just needs to be performing much better, and he needs to be much fitter as well. Cameron now finds it into Hewlett. He now finds Nicholson. Bit of room here. Can we see some Nicholson magic? We've not seen much of it so far this season. Can he get a ball into the box? The byline he goes. He crosses it in to Mark Jones. And there is the goal. The breakthrough finally happens. The deadlock is broken with 86 minutes on the clock. It's Blythe Spartans 0, Peterborough Sports 1, and Nicholson just picked up the ball and ran and ran and ran. Got to the byline, cut it back on his weaker right foot. Jones is there on off the bench to pounce. Finishes it into the back of the net. It's Blythe 0, Peterborough Sports 1. McCammon has also picked up a booking, and there's 7 minutes added on at the end of today's game. Let's go on to very defensive. Can we see this one out? Is me going on to very defensive going to cost me? McGlinchey with a nice interception there. Looks down the line for Hewlett, but it's well intercepted there from Cousin Dawson. Can we get at their faces? Win this ball back. The goalkeeper now with the ball. Langley plays it into Bodenham. A little bit of room for him here. Can we get a tackle in? Please. Jones there with a nice tackle, but he fails to maintain possession. Now Hooper finds Clark. I do not have a good feeling about this. Knight now beats his man. Ball into the box. It's not a bad one. Header comes in from Hooper. And thank God that's gone just over the bar. Crook looked like he had that covered, but his header goes over the bar. There's full time. A scrappy 3 points, but a big 3 points on the road. Fair play to Nicholson. I've given him his stick so far this season. Jones, though, with the goal on off the bench. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't as comfortable as it was in the previous match, but we're now 3 points from top. Scarborough Athletic, top of the league. They must have won tonight. Yeah, they won 5-2 against Bishop's Stortford. But there's a 5-point gap between us and 8th as well now. We're in a very good position at this moment in time. Thank you all very much for tuning in to today's episode. I really do appreciate everyone who's come back for episode 3 so far. If you have enjoyed watching, make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Any sort of comment really does help the football club. And the right back that I wanted to sign has gone to Hartlepool United. He's not willing to relocate for anything less than a full-time contract. So why did you agree terms with me? He was my number one choice. He's very good. This is who I wanted. I didn't want to spoil the news earlier, but I wanted Tariq Gidari, and unfortunately we haven't got him. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.